Did you know that, according to a recent study, nearly 70% of adults admit that their self-esteem is influenced by how they are perceived on social media? This staggering statistic reveals the extent to which external validation has seeped into our lives. But what if you could walk through life unshaken by the judgment of others? What if you could truly be yourself without the shadow of societal expectations? That's not just a distant dream, it's entirely achievable, and we're here to show you how. Over the next 10 chapters, we'll explore practical strategies and insights that will help you disconnect from the debilitating need for approval. So, if you're tired of feeling like you're constantly performing for an audience, stay tuned. Equip yourself with the tools to not only survive but thrive, irrespective of the opinions swirling around you. Let's embark on this transformative journey together, and remember, the only approval you truly need is your own. Chapter 1: Understanding the Impact. Why do we get so hung up on what others think of us? It's a question that, at first glance, seems like it has an obvious answer, because we want to be liked and accepted. But the impact of this concern runs much deeper. Studies show that our brain actually treats social rejection like physical pain. This means that not being liked can hurt in a very real sense. One of the most significant ways that worrying about others' opinions affects us is in decision-making. Have you ever chosen not to wear something you liked because you were afraid of what others might think? Or maybe you've stopped yourself from voicing your opinion for fear of being judged? This is called social conformity, and it can make you betray your true self without even realizing it. Moreover, constant worry about public perception can lead to stress and anxiety. It's like having a crowd of people living in your head, each with a different set of expectations. It's exhausting and can prevent you from living a fulfilling life. Did you know that according to a survey by the Mental Health Foundation, over 60% of people admitted that their self-esteem is negatively impacted by the way they perceive their own image on social media? Understanding this impact is the first step towards freeing yourself from the chains of others' opinions. It allows you to move forward and start focusing on what truly matters, your own values and happiness. Chapter 2: The Origin of Approval Seeking. But where does this deep-seated need for approval come from? The roots can often be traced back to childhood. From a young age, we're taught to seek approval. Think about it. When you did something right, you were likely rewarded, whether with a smile, praise, or even a treat. Conversely, disapproval was a form of punishment, a way to guide behavior. This pattern ingrains in us a profound belief that being approved of is akin to being safe or good. As we grow older, this belief doesn't just vanish. It evolves into a more complex web of social expectations. Psychologists point out that adolescence intensifies this need as peer approval becomes almost a currency of self-worth. That's a critical period when individuals are especially vulnerable to external influences, leading to habits that can last into adulthood. The good news? Awareness is the beginning of change. By acknowledging that our approval-seeking behavior has deep roots, we can start addressing it with the right tools and mindset. We can learn to separate our intrinsic value from our actions and the reactions they provoke. And remember, Albert Einstein once said, "I am thankful to all those who said no to me. It's because of them I did it myself." This mindset shift is crucial for personal development and true independence. Chapter 3: Self-Awareness Exercises. Self-awareness is key to unraveling the tangled web of caring too much about what others think. It involves understanding your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, and recognizing their origins. The good news is, you can cultivate self-awareness through a few simple exercises, which can significantly diminish the influence of external opinions. First, try keeping a thought journal. Every day, write down instances when you find yourself worrying about others' opinions. What triggered it? How did it make you feel? Reviewing your journal entries can reveal patterns and triggers, helping you manage and eventually reduce these anxieties. Another powerful exercise is the why technique. Whenever you make a decision, ask yourself, why am I doing this? If the answer is related to others' perceptions, it's a prompt to rethink your motivations. This technique was endorsed by Friedrich Nietzsche, who famously said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." Lastly, engage in role reversal. Imagine a friend is in your situation. What advice would you give them? Often, this exercise helps highlight a harsher judgment of ourselves compared to others, underscoring the unreasonable standards we set for ourselves due to external expectations. Chapter 4: Setting Personal Boundaries. One effective strategy for caring less about what others think is to establish clear personal boundaries. Boundaries define what is me and what is not me. They help you guard against unwanted advice, intrusions, and even criticism, allowing you to maintain your self-esteem and decision-making autonomy. Start by clearly identifying your limits. What are you comfortable with? What feels invasive? Articulating these to yourself and others can be liberating. For instance, it's perfectly acceptable to tell friends or family that you prefer not to discuss certain topics, like your career choices or personal life, if these discussions often lead to anxiety or discomfort. Communication is crucial when setting boundaries. Be direct and assertive but respectful. A simple statement like, "I appreciate your concern, but I am happy with my decision," can be effective. Remember, you're not responsible for how others react to your boundaries. As Warren Buffett wisely said, the difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything. By respecting your own boundaries, you encourage others to do the same, and this can dramatically decrease the weight of their opinions on your life. Chapter 5: Assertiveness Training. Assertiveness is a critical skill when it comes to communicating your needs and opinions without being overly influenced by what others might think. It's about expressing yourself effectively and standing up for your point of view, while also respecting the rights and beliefs of others. Being assertive can help you navigate social interactions more effectively, reducing the anxiety that comes from fearing how others will respond. One way to build assertiveness is through the I statements technique. Instead of saying, "You make me feel ignored," you can say, "I feel ignored when I'm not included in decisions." This approach is less likely to provoke defensiveness and keeps the focus on your feelings and experiences. Practice is key. Role-playing exercises with a friend or coach can be incredibly beneficial. They allow you to rehearse what you want to say and how you want to say it in a low-stakes environment. This builds confidence, making it easier to replicate this assertiveness in real-world situations. Furthermore, learning to say no is an essential part of being assertive. It's important to recognize that saying no doesn't make you a bad or selfish person. It means you know your limits and respect yourself enough to enforce them. This was well summarized by Steve Jobs, who said, "Focusing is about saying no." Chapter 6: Mindfulness and Acceptance. Mindfulness is the practice of being present in the moment, aware of our thoughts, feelings, and surroundings without immediate judgment or reaction. This can be particularly helpful in managing the anxiety that comes from worrying about what others think of us. By practicing mindfulness, you can observe these worries without getting caught up in them, which diminishes their impact. Simple mindfulness exercises include focused breathing, where you pay attention to each breath, or mindful walking, where you concentrate on the sensation of your feet touching the ground. These practices help anchor you in the present moment, providing a break from concerns about past or future judgments. Acceptance is another crucial aspect of dealing with external opinions. It involves accepting your thoughts and feelings without judgment. This doesn't mean resigning yourself to these thoughts, but rather acknowledging them as transient experiences that don't define your worth or capabilities. Integrating mindfulness and acceptance can significantly reduce the power of external opinions. Studies show that regular mindfulness practice can decrease emotional reactivity and improve overall mental health. As John Kabat-Zinn, a pioneer in mindfulness in the West, says, "You can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf." Chapter 7: Reframing Negative Thoughts. Reframing involves changing your perspective on a situation to view it in a more positive or realistic light. This can be especially useful when dealing with negative feedback or harsh opinions from others. Instead of seeing criticism as a personal attack, try to view it as an opportunity for growth or simply as one person's opinion, not a universal truth. Start practicing this by identifying your automatic negative thoughts. For example, if you think, "Everyone must think I'm incompetent," challenge this thought. Is it really everyone, or could it be a few vocal individuals? Are there facts to support this, or is it an assumption? Often, you'll find that your fears are not fully supported by evidence. Another aspect of reframing is looking for the silver lining in negative situations. Failed a presentation? Instead of beating yourself up, focus on what this experience taught you and how it can make you better prepared for the next one. As the saying goes, every failure is a step to success. Chapter 8: Building Authentic Self-Esteem. Building self-esteem is about appreciating your intrinsic value, independent of others' approval or disapproval. Authentic self-esteem comes from within and is built on acknowledging and valuing your own abilities, qualities, and judgment. One effective way to build authentic self-esteem is through accomplishments that are important to you, regardless of what others think. Set personal goals and work towards them. Achieving these goals will boost your confidence and help shift your validation from external sources to your own internal satisfaction. Additionally, practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself in moments of failure or when you're feeling down. Recognize that being imperfect is part of being human, and that every person has their struggles. Kristin Neff, a leading expert on self-compassion, suggests treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a good friend. Remember, true self-esteem is not about thinking you are better than others. It's about not having to compare yourself to anyone at all. As you cultivate this mindset, the need for others' approval naturally diminishes, empowering you to live more freely and authentically. Chapter 9. Surrounding yourself with support. The people around us can have a significant impact on how much we value others' opinions. By consciously choosing to surround yourself with supportive and uplifting individuals, you can create an environment that fosters self-confidence and reduces the need for external validation. Start by assessing your current relationships. Ask yourself, do these people build me up or tear me down? Are they quick to criticize, or do they offer constructive feedback? Sometimes, the key to caring less about what people think is not about changing yourself, but changing your circle. Invest time in relationships with people who appreciate you for who you are and encourage you to express your true self. These relationships will not only boost your morale but also provide a safer space for you to make mistakes and grow without fear of harsh judgment. Remember, it's not about having a large number of friends, but about the quality of those friendships. Jim Rohn famously said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." Choose wisely to ensure these are people who positively influence your self-perception and support your journey towards personal independence. Chapter 10. Consistent practice and patience. The journey to stop caring what people think isn't a quick fix. It's a continuous process that requires patience and persistent effort. The habits of seeking approval and valuing others' opinions over our own are often deeply ingrained and take time to unlearn. Set realistic expectations for your progress. Celebrate small victories along the way, and recognize that setbacks are part of the learning curve, not failures. Consistent practice of the strategies discussed in previous chapters, such as mindfulness, assertiveness, and reframing thoughts, will gradually lead to a shift in how much you let others' opinions affect you. Patience is crucial. Change won't happen overnight, but with persistence, the days when you find yourself less affected by others' opinions will start to outnumber the days when you are. As with any skill, the more you practice, the better you get. Keep at it, and you'll find that over time, your emotional independence will grow, and your happiness will become less contingent on others.